Hey guys, it's Malthus here once again giving you the follow-up video on the Static Strike Voidforge plus Abyssus combo raider that primarily used Static Strike, did have a War Chief for single target as well, and at this point it did do 3 Uber Elder kills, 2 of them completely deathless, and it wasn't all that bad in the single target in the end, because the Abyssus and Voidforge combo does do an insane amount of damage for, well, a relatively cheap amount to get both of those. However, you do then have to build around the defensive pressure that Abyssus is going to put onto your character. In this case, I ended up getting something like 5,900 life, not quite 6k, with 50 dodge, 50 spell dodge, a bunch of evasion, and a fortify on demand skill. And it was, for the most part, enough, but it was still very brutal on the high tier maps against a lot of syndicate encounters. And I feel like I have to warn you there, it is going to shit on you every now and again. I did end up hitting level 93, but level 92 up to 93 was a bit of a grind against certain syndicate encounters in some of these maps that were just fairly unreasonable for a character like this to go against. Abyssus, without super damage mitigation from a jug, something like that, is going to get you shit on against some of the syndicates, and that's about it though. Like, I could do all the tier 16 guardians, I could do Uber Elder Deathless, I could do every other encounter in the game just fine with this type of build with Static Strike, Abyssus, and Voidforge on a raider. Absolutely no problems, but some of these syndicate encounters are just fairly unreasonable as a straight up default meleeing ability. So by that I mean you do have to physically attack things up close and personal to get your damage going, and the only reason some of these things were okay was because of the War Chiefs themselves, the ancestral War Chiefs, and the Vaal uses of them. That said, I do not regret playing the character. It was a lot of fun, and it still did not deter me one bit to die to one of these syndicates every now and again, because the mapping was a pure joy, the delving was incredible, and as you can see, just changing up the Herald effects on your Herald of Ice and Herald of Ash feels like you're kind of even playing a different character, and this Sin and Innocence combo on my heralds just made it feel buttery smooth going through some of these delves. So I did end up doing a bunch more delving on this character than I originally anticipated, because it was just so much fun chaining through and shattering all of these packs thanks to the Static Strike plus Chain Gem combo. My only sort of regret is that I didn't get any more area, because if you had more area then your zaps go out further and it makes your clear speed even nicer. I had no problem with my clear speed whatsoever, it was a pretty happy medium, but more area would have been nice, and on this side of the passive tree I don't get any more of that. If you're somehow pathing more up to Templar, perhaps starting as an Inquisitor or a Scion in general, you could have got some more area and it could have been pretty fun as well with that. Otherwise, I'm just playing with the default area that the Voidforge gives you. So this is a bit of an example of the single target. I did end up doing, like I said, 3 Uber Elders, so 3 waves of all the Guardians, and I think I only maybe died to the Minotaur, maybe the Phoenix once or twice. It just really depends on what kind of map mods you're running against, and of course being pure melee has its disadvantages, as you can see here. Just kind of have to chill every now and again and find your opportunities to do your damage. Once you have the entirety of your frenzies up and you are pure melee with your removing Ancestral Call for Ruthless and removing Chain for Hypothermia, you have some pretty meaty hits and some big damage, but you are very restricted to being pure melee. And my first Uber Elder kill did take a little bit of figuring out how I want to play it exactly, because you have to really pick your opportunities and bide your time for when you actually can get your damage in as a very melee skill like this. So all in all, it was a pretty strong character, but probably could have been stronger if you were something like a Pathfinder still, possibly a Scion. But the take-home message here is that pick up a Voidforge if you really want to try out a bunch of different skills, because this thing can make all of these two-hand viable abilities, well, just pretty damn good off of what at this point was a 5 chaos weapon, and they always do suffer in price later on into the leagues. because I'm not too sure it's a very popular playstyle. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the build, and see you next time. Oh, that's a really good damage start, though. Definitely get good procs there. Need this ball to book off. There we go. Okay, still pretty good. Don't spawn! Did he spawn ground? I don't think he did. Okay, we're gonna keep Fortify out. Occasionally trigger one static. Lions Raw Flask Bright. There we go. No! Are you kidding me? As if he, like, has time to do that. That was hot bullshit. Like, he just seamlessly transitioned from the one attack into this slam, and I don't think he should have done that, in my professional opinion. Man, they comboed me again with that shit. That was pretty rude. They went the slow slam combo as their first attacks. That was just stupid. Yeah, when you play it the right way and have the right mindset, the damage in the playstyle is not too bad. It's all about getting them big fucking ruthless hits in. So you gotta take the opportunities. It's so much fucking harder playing as melee though. It's unreasonable, man. Do you know how much more gameplay that killer requires than a like Armageddon brand or a Storm brand or a Traps or a Totems or a fucking Scourge Arrow? All of that shit. This slapping shit with your default attack just requires so much gameplay, it's absurd. Anyway, done and done. Just having a rant, no big deal.